Okay,
you're good. It's
All right.
recording.
All right. Well, hey, Mark. Thanks for coming in.
No problem.
Dara, you're old-time PT, so we know each other. If we didn't know each other, guys, we would have establishing rapport moments. But you came in today to volunteer for me. We're going to go through a mock exam. But how are things going for you?
Going well.
You having any pain or problems, or when's the last time you actually went to PT?
No, it's been a while. The last time I went was for shoulder and neck pain, and that's cleared up, and I'm doing well.
Okay. All right. So help remind me, because I honestly have forgotten. How long has it been since you sustained your injury?
It was October 19th, 2012, so we're coming up on 7 years.
Okay. All right. And I remember how this happened. Do you mind sharing that for students?
No, violent crime. It was an armed robbery, pretty random, and I was shot 3 times. One of the bullets severed my spinal cord and paralyzed me from the chest down.
And do you mind if I add that you were helping rebuild after Katrina?
This was in New Orleans.
In New
Yes,
Orleans.
we
So
were,
you were
we
part
were
of-
working in New Orleans.
Part of the solution,
Right.
Yeah. All right. So it's been these 7 years. You have what level of injury?
It's on paper. What they've written down is that I am a C7 complete injury. I recently, just last year, had a myelogram to find out exactly where the bullet is. The bullet is actually around T4, T3, T4. But the way they explained it to me is that I also have a syrinx below the bullet and one above the bullet. So the myelogram, the dye would not go around the bullet, so he had to stick it in my neck and do it that way. But the 2 things. They said the velocity of which the bullet hit the spinal cord created a shock wave, which created damage at a higher level in my spinal cord. And also because of the syrinx and the bullet, my spinal cord is being choked at a higher level.
So who is following the syrinx?
Dr. Salas.
Okay, so that's your physiatrist?
Yes, and she also sent me to a neurosurgeon. And he really doesn't want to do anything with the syrinx, but his recommendation is to scrape the bone spurs at, I don't know, C7 through C5 or something to open up some space.
More space for the nerve roots there, so that maybe
Correct.
you won't have some of the pain. Do you have any other symptoms, weakness, or any changes in function?
No, not any changes really. There's a lot of buzzing, a lot of neuro stuff going on in my arms and in my hands. Hands are not getting any better; they're getting weaker, and the atrophy is also getting worse.
Okay. All right. So I know there's research going on at Cardinal Hill with Dr. Sawaki. Are you aware of any of that? Are you participating in any research?
I'm not participating right now. I have a couple of times with Lumi, but I don't think I'm a candidate for what she's looking for right now.
Okay, because I've seen some people having some results, and I just wondered what all you were in right now and to be gauging changes. So although it's fake, you're not really coming in for PT right now. If you were, what are you having? I mean, we talked about you're having some neuropathic pain, you're having some differences in function. So ostensibly, that would be something that we could be working on. So for intents and purposes today, we'll go through strength and some function stuff with your hands and see how that is to just establish that baseline. Meds. You taking anything
I take 300 milligrams of gabapentin twice a day, and I'm taking methenamine. I was plagued with urinary tract infections last year for 6 months in a row. I'd take the medicine, it'd go away, then it would come right back every month for 6 months. So they gave me a prophylactic medicine called methenamine, and also with vitamin C, ascorbic acid, and it's like a miracle. Yeah, it's like a miracle. I haven't had one since last year, so I take that and I take the gabapentin, and that's all.
And the gabapentin is for the tingling in your hands and arms, or legs and other places?
All over.
All over.
Right.
Do you find that it changes your spasticity or tone any? Do you have much trouble with
No,
spasticity?
I do have but I've never really had a lot of problem with spasms, but or tone, but it's increasing. I'm having more spasms. I'm having abdominal spasms, which are
I've
new.
seen a couple while you're sitting
Yeah, which
here, right?
that's kind of new. That didn't come along until about last year, sometime last year.
Do you relate it to anything particular?
No.
Not the syrinx or the UTIs?
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. Any other status changes? Things that you're able to do that new things you're able to do from maybe the last time we worked with each other, or things that you're losing function with?
No, not really.
Okay.
Florida chair transfers are still difficult, so strength training would help with that.
Okay.
But I mean, I can still do it. It's just not easy for
Do
me.
you get down on the floor on a daily basis?
Not daily.
Not daily.
I also have a
That's fine.
standing frame, and I don't stand daily either,
Okay.
which I've been told that I should. That it's very important, but I don't. I haven't stood for a couple of weeks now.
Okay. All right. So you get down on the floor because you need to, or do you have
No,
falls?
because I mean to.
Okay.
But I also have a setup over at my son's apartment where a futon that's low, so it's easy to get from the floor to the futon to the chairs. So it's.
Great intermediate
Right.
step. So you.
But I like to get on the floor and roll around and stretch out.
Sure. Right. You have any grandkids?
I have one.
One, how old?
He is 8. I think he's 8.
8. Okay. So past the age of getting down on the floor then.
Yeah. 6th grade. How old? No, he's older than that. He's 12.
He's 12.
Wow. Not bad.
Time flies.
Don't tell my daughter.
No. I understand. All right. And so remind me what kind of. Do you have any hardware at all?
No.
Hardware?
Just a bullet.
Just the bullet, right? Okay. All right. And so, what hobbies are you into now?
I tinker a lot in the garage. I build things out of wood. I work on my wheelchairs all the time myself.
How many chairs do you
I've got
have?
2 power chairs and I have 2 manual chairs.
Okay. Everything in mostly good working condition for you?
No.
No?
One of my power chairs, like I've only had it for 3 years and it's broke down all the time. Motors, batteries, there's something wrong with it all the time. And so that's a problem. That's why I have to have my old one running because the new one does not. But puzzles, I like to work puzzles, and it helps with my hand function as well too. That's about it. I do a lot of stuff with the Let's Roll group, so we're always doing ball games or something. We're always doing something. Yeah, even if it's just going out to eat,
Yeah. Getting out. Okay. Now, you usually take public transportation, or do you have somebody you rely on?
I have lots of friends that drive
Okay.
that have vans and
Great.
stuff, and when I can't get my power chair in a car, I can always use my manual chair. And my son's driving now, so that helps a lot.
They're supposed to still be babies, aren't they? Yeah. Okay, so really challenges the floor. Okay. Do you use the power chair more or manual?
I use the power chair mostly.
Okay, all right. Okay. Well, I would like to start just kind of taking a look at your range at your neck and your shoulders and your elbows and your wrists and all that stuff, and then we'll move on down. And I noticed you've got a Fitbit on.
I do.
Do you have it set to wheelchair?
No, I do not.
You do not.
Is there a setting for that?
Well,
You have to show me.
some different things there are. So I was just curious.
Yeah, I like it for the heart rate monitor,
Okay.
which I've noticed my heart rate has gotten higher lately, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It seems to be going up.
If it's higher at rest, maybe that would be something that we would want.
It's maybe 20 beats more than normal.
Right. So what is your blood pressure then? What are your numbers?
I'm usually textbook 120/80. Before that, before all of this stuff that happened last year, it was typically really low, like really low. But now it's up to where it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never had high blood pressure. Even when I went in with the UTIs and I was dysreflexic, my blood pressure was so low that they wanted to admit me.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of being high,
So how often do you get dysreflexic?
just with the UTIs, I think that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I miss a cath time, if I wait too long in the cath, I've had too much to drink or something, then I'll start getting a headache, flushed face, and I know it's time to cath and it goes away.
Mm-hmm. So you tell me exactly what's going on with you when you're dysreflexic. How long did it take you to notice? What dyspraxia was for you?
I started hearing about it after maybe 2 years into my injury, and then I started realizing. Well, then I started getting urinary tract infections and stuff like that, and it's. I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I get dizzy, spinning, blurred vision, headaches. The headaches really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so what do you do?
Lay down, make a phone call.
Because usually it's like take care of the capping, and that part will go
Yeah,
away.
I was always told that it was either bowel bladder or skin breakdown. So I'm constantly looking, make
figure
sure
out what's going on.
Right. So it's one of the three.
Right. So that's your bladder program's pretty well controlled. You're capping in and out capping
Every three to 4 hours.
Okay. How's the bowel program?
It's going well. It's every other day, usually in the mornings. It's taken almost 7 years, but I kind of feel like when I need to go now. I can't really explain how. I know that I don't know, it's like an upset stomach or something.
So we talk about with students of visceral pain, that pain you feel, or the sensations you feel that are it's not sharp like this, but you can tell there's something going on inside, and it sounds like it's something like that. Something
like that, yeah. Like knots in your stomach or something. But when you can't feel knots in your stomach, it's kind of hard to describe. But anyway, it's going well, and it usually takes about an hour.
Okay. Ditch stem annual removal.
Ditch stem. I use a product called Enemies, which works great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's good. And are you on a padded tub bench or?
I have a shower chair.
Shower chair. Okay. So you have a shower chair. You transfer onto it, you go, and you have a roll-in shower here and all that access. Okay.
And it also fits over top of the toilet.
Okay. Are you dressing in your chair or on your bed?
Usually on a bed. It's just easier to dress when I'm laying down.
Okay. All right. All kinds of functional input there, and I'll keep probably asking questions as we go. But so from here, I'm going to go ahead and just take some range measures. Since you have some neck problems, I want you to see what's happening in your neck here. Okay. So. Okay, so can you look over the shoulder as far as you can? Awesome. Okay, then let's look over the shoulder. So one of the big things I'm going to look for is symmetry, because you don't have any hardware. It's pretty symmetrical. A lot of people have hardware, and I have to just be careful what's happening here. So can you go ahead and come to this? So take your ear to this shoulder. So I'm going to have you, sorry, I didn't do a very good job. Yeah, from right here, just take your ear straight to your shoulder. Okay, so that's an interesting way to move. Come on back up. See those shoulders come all the way up. See, they're a little overdeveloped and a little tight here. And bring your left ear to your left shoulder. When I don't have to say left and right every day, I realize how bad I am at it. And come on back up. Okay, good. We'll probably take some other measures from different positions. Go ahead, and I would love to see your chin come down to your chest. So look down. Okay. Come back up. And then look up to the ceiling. All right. Any pain with any of that?
Nothing bad. There is some pain on my left side, kind of right here.
Okay. And your upper trap is what you're showing me there. So we'll look at that as we go. Just want to get a little bit of an idea what's happening. So now I'm going to take a peek at your shoulders here. So can you bring both arms out to the side? Can you keep your balance that way, or does that throw you off?
No, I can a little bit.
Okay. Well, go ahead and just drop your left arm down, and we'll just do one at a time, because I don't want those spasms to start kicking in. So anytime I ask people to bring their shoulder up, I want the thumb to lead. Can you bring that arm all the way up over your head?
Like over or just straight?
Yeah, this arm just as upper as possible. Okay, and back down. Good. All the way back down by your side there. We'll come out in front here. And then all the way up to the ceiling. Great. Now back down. You have a little bit of tightness up there at the top. That's one of the things I see. Can you bring your elbow back behind you, like, you start the lawnmower move? Yeah. All right. Good job. Any problems with any of that?
No.
All right. I'm going to take your arm again. I'm going to keep your elbow at your side. Can you bring that arm out to the side? Awesome. External rotation. You need a lot of that, don't you? Any problems when your shoulder comes in or out like that?
No.
Okay, great. So that elbow did some really nice work. Can you bring your arm up again? Yeah. And then from there, can you straighten your elbow out? All right, great. Back down. How do you feel like your triceps is doing?
I think there's always room for improvement, but I think they're.
Take it down about halfway, because I'm totally not strong enough. There you go, right there. Don't let me move you, okay? Okay, I can't move you. Great. All right, and then I'm going to sneak over here. So let's bring this arm straight up again. There you go. You okay? Back down. And up again. So I'm absolutely cool with him holding onto his chair because that's what he's got to do to balance right now. And back down. Good. And up here. And straight up through the ceiling. Okay, good. Are you right hand dominant or left hand dominant?
Right.
Do you have a difference in your arms right now?
Yes.
Left one stronger?
Yes.
Yeah. And relax this down. And can you bring that arm straight up? Good. And back down. So is it the hand that's more responsive on this left, or the whole arm?
Yes, the hand. Yes, the hand is much stronger on my left hand side.
Straighten this up about halfway. And don't let me push you down. Awesome. Great. Okay. And hold your elbow here. Just relax. I got it. I promise I'll be kind. Bring it out. Great. Any problems with the shoulder with any of those movements? Okay, so while you're sitting here, before we transfer over, I might go ahead and just take a look at some of the sensation on your hand and arm. Okay, so, have you a safety pin here? When's the last time they checking all your sensation?
It's been a while, maybe 3 years.
So with any of the neurology testing, have they gone through and looked at that, or?
Yes, I was actually looking to try to do something to rebuild my right hand. And I went to a hand doctor, but before I did that.
Good.
All right. So let's just take a look at some sensation on here. So this is the sharp dull. You're used to this. I'm going to give you the reference on your face. I'm not putting it on your face because I want to be neat. Okay.
That's fine.
But this is the sharp, and this is dull. And how's your temperature sensation in your hand and arm? I'm just going to warn you, my hand's cold.
I can't feel the underside of my arms.
Okay.
I can feel the tops.
It might trigger spasms. So if
So
you
what?
start spasming, it's because I
Probably
touched you.
not.
Sorry. But here we go. So I'm going to have you close your eyes. And if I'm worried that your eyes aren't closing all the way, I want you to just tell me if you feel something, and then if you do, is it sharp or dull?
Sharp. Dull. 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 Oh no, it was sharp. Let's say sharp. Sharp. Somewhere in the middle. It's almost say sharp. Dull. 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 Sharp. Sharp. Dull. Dull. Sharp. Dull. Dull. Sharp. Dull. Dull. Sharp. Dull. Sharp. Dull. Dull. Sharp. 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 Dull. Shar No. No.
Can you put your hand over for me, please? Awesome, I'll keep going.
Sharp. Dull. Dull.
So what you guys can't see right now is that there are a lot of calluses on his hand that I have to take note of,
Yeah.
and wrists. So I'm working around those.
Dull. Dull.
So I wouldn't expect good sensation. Over
Dull.
callus. So what I would do, guys, is I would, on a body chart, I usually will mark where he's got good sensation, altered sensation, and no sensation, using like crosses and hash marks or different colors. Every place has their own system, so that you can monitor that and recheck. And so I would have a lot to do, because you are very accurate some places, and you're not so accurate other places, and there are some places where you don't feel. Yeah. And so I had to vary my speed and rhythm so that he doesn't get in a rhythm of giving an answer. So you're gonna know all my tricks of the trade.
Trickery.
Well, it's not trickery, but I just don't want you to, be lulled into something and feel compelled to give me an answer when you don't really have one. So we'll do the same thing over here. I'm gonna check on your cheek here just to remind you this is sharp and that is dull. Okay. So tell me what you feel when you feel it.
Sharp.
How do I
Dull.
start with that, right?
Dull.
I'll tell you that one.
Dull.
And sometimes it takes people a little longer to process, and that's fine. That actually gives you
Dull.
good information.
Dull. Dull. Sharp. Sharp. Dull. Sharp. Sharp. Dull. 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 I think I felt something dull. 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 Sharp. Sharp. Dull.
All right, put that hand over, please.
Dull. Yeah, them calluses
Wow, you
everywhere.
have a lot of big calluses. Are those from
Sharp.
propelling?
It is from. It's strictly from the wheelchair. Sharp. Sharp. Dull. Dull. Sharp. Dull. Dull. Sharp. Sharp. Sharp.
All right, good deal. So for modesty's sake, we'll say stay off your shoulders and things, but I would be testing that if we were in a room and I felt like I could get to that and keep his modesty. I'll probably do some trunk work under his shirt in a couple of minutes, but not while I'm sitting. So that gives me a good idea what's going on. Your sensation on this arm was a little better
Yes.
than that arm.
And this is my weaker side. It's
So
strange.
it's a matter of which tract is more impact. So we tell the students, if you your spine's kind of like an oval. So if we cut across at a certain level, there are places that the sharp dull sensation travels, like a map, and then there are places that the light touch travels, like in a map, and the movement part is in another part of the map. And so just depending on what was more affected,
Yes,
it
sir.
might be the sensory part on the left side and the motor part on the right side, just by all the swelling and
Sure.
all the damage from, force equals mass times acceleration, and that bullet is absolutely traveling at.
1,200 feet per second
Okay,
at a minimum.
okay, see? All I knew it was a lot, but there you are with the specifics. So, yeah, now, I am going to take a look at time, and I'm going to take a look at what else I want to do, and I'm going to defer light touch, but I would take my Q-tip and pull a wisp up at the end, and again, reference his face. We'll do just a couple of these, okay? So, that's what it feels like. You feel that?
Barely, yes.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, it's supposed to be light touch, yeah. Around the scruff, that's hard. So now you close your eyes and just tell me when you feel me touch you, and if you can tell me where, that's awesome too.
Well, I don't know how to explain it.
And you can touch
Below my elbow, on the
Okay.
top of my arm.
Great.
Maybe around my elbow. Yeah, in my hand. touching me somewhere I can't feel. My pinky. Maybe one of my fingers. My hand.
Okay, have you flip over? One, please. Because what I don't want to see is this. Because this, for testing, you've moved the joint and you're actually poking them, so it's not light touch. It's joint position sense and deep pressure. So the light touches are really hard in your hand, huh?
I felt something on my arm.
When you get into hairy arms, that's a whole other situation. Yeah. So that's just a little quick thing on the light touch. Right, you can open your eyes, Mark, and we're going to call it a day on that. I want to test a little bit of strength here before you move over. Do you mind turning out about just a couple of degrees for me? Awesome, right there's great. That way you can get it on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and just start with your biceps here. Bring that elbow out. Bring it out about halfway for me. Okay, don't let me move you. Stable? I know there's no way I'm going to break you, but I get to test that there, so it's great. So go ahead and bring that arm down for me. Okay, about halfway here. Don't let me push you out. Okay, let's test a different muscle. Hold, hold, hold. Awesome. Okay, and bring it over. Now don't let me push you out. You ready? Hold, hold, hold. Great. Can you bring your wrist up here? Oh, good. And back down. Up. About halfway. Okay, don't let me move you here. Hold, hold, hold. Gotcha on that one.
Yeah,
all right, flip over for me and bring it out. Okay, don't let me move you here. Hold, hold, hold. You got that, don't you? Here, can you bring your wrist up? Don't let me move you. Hold, hold. Great. On this side, can you bring your wrist out? Don't let me move you. Hold, hold, hold. Gotcha, just a little bit. Tough on me. You're super strong. All right, yeah. So show me what kind of finger movement you have on this hand. So can you make a fist? Great. And then extend those fingers. That's really beautiful. I know that it's not the same that you're used to having, and it's not enough, but that's so much more than I usually see. So this would be when I would want to have like a grip dynamometer, and I didn't get everything ready. Just like I didn't take his blood pressure, I would have at the very beginning after he had calmed down. He'd had a few minutes to chill out after pushing up here. So, all right, go ahead and just squeeze as hard as you can here. Okay. And relax. That just gives me a gross understanding of what's going on. Can you oppose? Okay, and then go to middle finger and ring finger and pinky finger. So if you notice, I'm holding his hand because he kept substituting. He was going to go ahead and let gravity help him. But you can still do it without me doing that.
Right.
At what
but
cost?
It's,
was it harder or painful? Or?
No, not painful at all. Just it's, I've adapted, and I use
a little tenodesis,
right, and to do things. And so whenever I try to do this with my fingers, I always look because it's easier.
It's going to be easier,
yes.
yeah. And I need you. I mean,
sure.
who among us wakes up and says, "I think I'd like to do the hardest thing ever today"? So, all right. So on this side, let's try that bicep. You pull it. Don't let me move you here. You good and stable? Don't let me move you. Oh, great. And bring it down here. Don't let me push you out. And bring it out. Don't let me pull you down. Great. And now here. Don't let me pull you down. Great. All right. So let's see that wrist. Yeah, come up. Don't let me move you. Hold, hold, hold. Big difference. Big difference. Flip over. And up. And let me move you. Hold, hold. Good. And here, can you bring that wrist up? Sideways. Good. Hold, hold, hold. All right. Here. Can you bring it out to the side? There you go. Don't let me move. Hold, hold, hold. Yeah, I don't break you at all. Nice. Show me what finger stuff is happening on this side. Oh, yeah. All the time.
Stronger grip.
Yeah. Do you eat with this hand, right?
No, I
you
eat
still do everything with that,
right?
Yeah. Which is awesome, right? You're going to your dominant hand, so that keeps it as strong as possible. But then you're doing all the
All the heavy lifting.
The
all the
helping
lifting
hand.
with this side,
Yeah.
this side, yeah.
And the helper hand, like where it stabilizes things for you, and that actually helps strengthen a lot. So, okay.
I think that's why my shoulders and stuff hurt, because I'm constantly holding myself up all day.